Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Jag here. And in today's class, we're going to continue with our Math 11 content. And today's topic is going to be on the discriminant. So let's get started. All right, so here we are. And I wrote down the discriminant. So the discriminant is basically this expression. It's b squared minus 4ac, okay? The value of this expression is going to be used to determine the number of solutions of a quadratic equation. Now say this expression is greater than 0, okay? So what happens in this case is I'm going to put two solutions, okay? So two solutions, or there are two x-intercepts, okay? So I'm going to graphically just show you what that means, okay? So say my quadratic is formed like right here. And you notice that it crosses the x-axis, okay? So this is my x-axis, this is y. And it crosses the x-axis at 2 points, okay? And that's why in this case, okay, I have two solutions, all right? So this is one of the cases. And the second one is when this expression is equal to 0, okay? When the expression is equal to 0, this means that there's only one solution, okay? Or there's only one x-intercept, okay? So say again, I'm just going to draw a quick sketch so we can all see it. And say the quadratic is formed right here, like this. Okay, and as you can see, the quadratic is only touching the x-axis at 1 point. Okay, and this is the x-intercept, and that's why there is only one solution in this case. Does everyone see that? Okay, and lastly is my last expression here. So b squared minus 4ac, and it's less than 0, okay? And when it's less than 0 here, there are no solutions. Okay, so can anyone guess how the graph would look here? Let's sketch this one out as well. Okay, and in this case, when you draw out the graph for the parabola, it's going to be like this. Okay, or it can be found anywhere, okay, on the Cartesian plane. But you do notice, okay, that it is not intersecting my x-axis at any point, okay? And that's why there are no solutions here. So if you notice, the discriminant is actually just part of the quadratic equation. Okay, it's basically what's found under the square root sign. And that's why even when you use the quadratic formula, okay, and you notice under the square root sign, when you get a negative answer, okay, it's just going to be no solution. Okay, that doesn't mean you can't draw the graph out. Okay, that just means that there are no x-intercepts. All right. Okay, so let's try some examples here. Okay. So I'm going to write it on here. And we're going to use the discriminant, okay? And let me write out the question first. So negative 2x squared plus 3x plus 8 equals 0, okay? So the question says for each quadratic equation, use the discriminant to determine the number of solutions, okay? So one more time, the value for a here is negative 2. The value of b is the middle term, so it is 3. And the value of c is going to be positive 8. Okay, so just like this. I'm going to plug it into the discriminant. So b squared minus 4ac. Okay, and it's always better when you're just writing out, okay, what your values are. So 3 squared minus 4 times a, which is negative 2, and times c, which is equal to 8. Does everyone see that? Okay, so this becomes 9 plus 64. Make sure you're multiplying all of these numbers together, okay? Make sure you watch the sign, okay? Negative 4, and this is negative 2. The two negatives make it a positive here, okay? And we're getting 73, okay, which is the positive number. And again, it doesn't really actually matter, okay, what the value of the discriminant is. I'm actually just looking for the sign, okay? Now, so you notice that the sign for the 73 is positive. Okay, so in this case, I could put therefore, Okay, let's put there are, okay, 2 solutions. Okay, in this case, okay, 2 solutions, or there are 2 x-intercepts. Okay, if I were to actually graph this quadratic function out, I'll notice that it intersects the x-axis at 2 separate points. All right, so again, you notice the question will only say determine how many solutions this quadratic function has. It's not going to actually ask you what the x-intercepts are. Okay, good. So let's try one more question here. Okay, let's try this one. So I have 3x squared minus 5x plus 11, and it equals to 0. Okay, so one more time, my value for a is 3, and the b is negative 5, and c is this point right here. C is equal to 11. All right, I'm going to plug it into my discriminant, so let's write it out. B squared minus 4ac. So make sure, because the b is negative, I'm going to put negative 5 whole squared minus 4 times 3 and times 11, like that. Okay, so don't forget to just multiply this whole section together here. And I'm getting 25 minus 132. Does everyone see that? Okay. And you notice as soon as I subtract this, I can see that this is a negative answer. I'm getting negative 107. Okay. Because the discriminant is less than 0 here, okay, we're going to put therefore, okay, there are no solutions. Okay, does everyone see that? Okay, so just like this. So there's no solution. The value of the discriminant is negative here. Okay, for the example that we did earlier here, the value of the discriminant was positive, and that's why it had 2 solutions. Okay, so same thing for this second example. If I were to graph this out, okay, I'll notice that the parabola does not intersect the x-axis at all, okay, or at any point. Okay, are there any questions so far here? Okay, so let's try one last example here, okay? And we're going to write it on here. So let's try this one. So I have 1 over 4 x squared, okay? And I'm going to do minus 3x plus 9 equals 0, okay? So one more time, the value for a is 1 over 4. B is equal to negative 3. Make sure you're taking the sign in front, okay? And the value of c is 9. I want to plug it into my discriminant, so b squared minus 4ac. Okay, the b value is negative 3. So negative 3 squared minus 4 times 1 over 4, which is a, and times 9. Does everyone see that? Okay, so negative 3 times negative 3, positive 9. I'm doing 4 times 1 over 4, which is 1, times 9, which is 9. So I'm getting 9 minus 9, which is equal to 0. Does everyone see that? Okay, and here, since the discriminant is equal to 0, we're going to put therefore. Okay, there is only, okay, one solution. Okay, so again, just one solution. Okay, or there's only like one x-intercept in this case. Okay, and again, to confirm your answer, I would make sure I just take this equation here for the parabola, and I'm just graphing it out. Okay, and I'll see that it will only be intersecting the x-axis at one point. Okay, so there's one x-intercept. All right. Okay, so that looks good. So today's class was basically all about the discriminant, which is the value or the expression, which is b squared minus 4ac. All you're doing is you're taking your quadratic function, I'm plugging in the values for a, b, and c into the b squared minus 4ac expression, and I'm just trying to see whether or not the discriminant is positive, negative, or if it's equal to 0, okay? So once again, okay, if the discriminant is positive, the value is positive there, it's going to indicate that there are 2 solutions. If the discriminant is equal to 0, that indicates that there's only one solution. And if the discriminant is less than 0 or it's a negative number, okay, that's going to indicate that there are no solutions. All right? All right, so that looks good. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you all learned about the discriminant and how to actually apply it. And please make sure you do like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see everyone in the next video. Thanks, bye.